Hello once again, and as I promised, it's finally time to get our hands dirty on sound design and, take everything that we've learned so far and put it into making a useful sound for our production. This part is going to be dedicated to leads. There's a million different type of leads that we can do. I'm gonna look at some examples, some of the most common, especially for nowadays kind of production, and yeah, gonna do a lot of different variation of leads, different genre, different type of waves. But for now, I think the most important one and one of the most common is the classic detune trance lead that. We can use it for trance, but we can use it for house as well. It's being used a lot in house music and electro, progressive, whatever. We can use it for those big chords part in the break for house tracks and trance tracks, or we can use it in more like plucky arpeggio melodies. We can basically really use it for a lot of things. As far as we know the basics, then we can apply it to different things. Let's start right away. Let's have a listen to this one. A beautiful song by Above and Beyond. Let's go to the lead part. You got the idea, right? Now we have all our stuff over here. I didn't record the melody. I should have done that, but all right. I can record it really quickly. Okay, this is the Alone Tonight melody. Pretty impressive that I didn't do any bad note. All right, we got it. Definitely it's not the right sound. This is the loading, auto-load horrible sound from the ES2. Now, I did tell you that, and probably provided you as well, the init sound. A friend of mine pointed out this says a lot on how much I use presets. If you go on the tutorial setting over here, you can pick analog so init that will basically bring a single oscillator so with a lot of useful stuff. I would definitely go with that one. Okay, we have it. So let's start and see. I just switched the cutoff because I like this one better for some reason. All right, definitely isn't the right sound, but the first thing we notice so the sound is kind of detuned, right? So one of the first things we know already is go over here, 50%, bring our second oscillator, and let's start detuning it a little bit. We are a little bit closer. The type of sound is quite there. Of course, there's still quite a lot of work to do. Another thing that I really notice is that you notice a lot, especially when they bring it in. is this plucky thingy. So we've seen that already. It's the cutoff, which is a little closed, and there is an envelope on it that lets a little bit of high frequency through so that we can get the little slap while the filter is closed. And right now it's not happening. Set it to cutoff 1 and 2. And we want our envelope to, oh, actually it was wired here, sorry, never mind. But we need cutoff 1. Let's just set it to 1 and 2 anyway. It has a little bit more. Something like this. All right, it's getting there. The sound has a really nice flow. The notes are not so stubby, so let's go up with the release a little bit. That's definitely too much. All right, it's getting there. This sound, it's still kind of really mono compared to the other one. The other one is a little bit smoother. Let's call it this way. Whoops, sorry. And it has definitely a better stereo image, and we've seen what happens when we engage the unison. We get a bit of a better stereo image because the sound phases a little, and so it opens up. So let's bring our unison up in. Big difference. Really big difference. All right. It's getting there. I think the envelope on the amp is not right at the moment. The sound kind of has a short body. Like it's mostly a lot of attack and then a little bit of a tail. You know, it gives this little, just a touch. And let's have a play with the sustain and release. I mean, right now, if we look at the shape, if I can get to freeze it. Hold on. All right. It has a little bit of a body, and I think it's too much. So let's play a little bit. And this is better. This is definitely better. Also, let's do this thing, which is always nice to do. Let's, if you click in Logic, I think is Alt and Shift. You can set the length of your notes to be all the same by just Shift, yes, Alt or Option, and then you just drag. It will force all the note to be the same length. And the same you can do with the velocity. You hit Alt or Option and Shift, and there you go. Just to make sure that everything is alright and you don't have anything like, you know, acting weird. We can detune a little bit more, but that's not the right direction. Yeah, I think we're pretty close. Yeah, definitely. Also, let's just go with the right speed, which I think is 136 or 38. Another thing that I can notice on the original track is that the cutoff is not all the way open when the main part is in. It's not like this. Because you can kind of hear the filter still working. It's like halfway through. And yeah, I would say that we are definitely really, really close. Another thing that we can do is, as I showed you before, is maybe add a little bit of attack. We have, right now we're using envelope 2 for the filter, so we don't want to touch that unless we want some similar effect, unless we want some similar envelope effect. We still have envelope 1. It's really easy and simple, but I definitely can do for what we are looking for, adding that little bit of punch to the attack. That's definitely too much, so let's bring this down. So let's compare with and without. This is with. This is without. It's a little bit snappier, and I think it sounds really, really good. So yeah, I think it's pretty much there. And also you have to consider that we're not using any compressor, we're not using any EQ, we're not using any reverb, and we're not using any delay. And there's a lot of those right here. You can especially tell it. Sorry, there's a dog outside who's barking. He doesn't like this sound. You can tell that there's a lot of delay here. So let's just grab a delay. Let's get stereo delay. Let's see, 1/8. the sound is definitely there. We can also add a reverb. This is gonna be covered a little better in further in the video when I put the effects, but I'm just trying to demonstrate right now, and I'm probably gonna do it just once. That sometimes you get really close to the sound, but it's still not the same sound that you want. But of course, you have to keep in mind that you're just working on a synthesizer. There's a whole different word that you can put over here. So right now I'm just trying to demonstrate. Let's bypass the delay for a second. It's definitely not my favorite reverb. So let's any quite big. Let's see. Church. Marble church. Let's try. And you can tell already there's a lot of difference, and the sound is more textured, it's more groovy, and I mean, we just started from this sound over here, and then of course we can add a whole different lot of things to enrich our sound. So yeah, just keep in mind that that this is like a raw version of your sound, and then there's a whole new world that's the insert and the effects and the post-production stuff. But I would say that we're pretty close. Definitely pretty close. Of course, if you consider that that's a master track, there's a lot of post-production and all that stuff. But, I mean, and even here, you see, we pretty much took everything that we learned so far and put it into one single sound, but everything is quite simple. I mean, 2 oscillator, one is slightly detuned, 18, we can go up to 20 or something cents. There's unison, there's envelope on the cutoff, there's an envelope on the pitch. There's no LFO, there's really no need. I mean, if we would add an LFO, I'm not sure anything too nice would come up. Just put it on the pitch. Now it kind of makes it too, vibrato. No, definitely doesn't work. Also, yeah, I kept it in poly mode because we have a long reverb. A long release, and we kind of have the sound floating from a note to another. So it's kind of nice to have this effect. If we have it in mono, it's gonna be a little bit too stuttery. And it gets pretty aggressive as well. Plus the stereo image is not that nice. This kind of floats better because the release floats a little bit more. It's a little longer, and it doesn't get stopped when the other note occurs. So I think that's way better. Also, yeah, we can, as you notice here, I pushed up the resonance a little bit so that I can give a little bit of a high frequency, that kind of sparkle on the top, as opposed to this. And it kind of sounds really good when it's down, as opposed to this. It makes it a little bit sharper. Yeah, that's it. We did the first sound in 15 minutes? Not even. I mean, of course, you literally need 2 minutes to do a song like this. Of course, now I explained everything and added stuff and all that. But yeah, it's quite easy. And from here, now we can go into more complex. We can add another oscillator. We can have a more aggressive sound. Also, one thing that has to be said, usually the more you detune and the kind of more aggressive the sound gets, kind of gets more into the hardcore / hard style kind of side. And it doesn't sound good right now, but I mean, there are some tracks, maybe not like this, but like this, and then you can put it mono and crank up the voices and have a really aggressive and really like present, detuned sound, and that makes it a little bit more aggressive. The intention of this song definitely isn't being aggressive, so we've been quite gentle, let's say, with the detune and all that stuff. The sound is dreamy, is the tune, but it's not too aggressive. It just, I think it's quite perfect. So yeah, let's just move on to something a little bit more aggressive.